Why do my knees hurt even though I walk every day? Why do I feel stiff in the morning even when I've been eating healthy? Why do my legs seem weaker even though I haven't changed anything in my routine? If you've asked yourself these questions, you're not alone. Millions of older Americans do everything right. Eat their vegetables, stay active, try to cut back on sugar, and yet they still feel their bodies slowing down in uncomfortable, frustrating ways, especially in the legs. Now here's something surprising. It might not be your age. It might be your microwave. Not the microwave itself, but what we're reheating in it. Most of us are taught to save leftovers, reheat meals. It's a habit built on thrift and good intentions, and often convenience. But as we get older, certain foods, when reheated, can turn into unexpected hazards. Not just for digestion, but for our joints, our circulation, and even our ability to stay steady on our feet. You see, as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to inflammation. This is due in part to slower metabolism, reduced kidney and liver function, and changes in blood flow. The digestive tract can become less efficient, and the immune system may start to overreact to things it once handled just fine. This means that even something as simple as reheated leftovers can quietly trigger problems, ones we don't link back to the plate. Let's take a look at one food in particular that's known for its health benefits, but can cause real issues when reheated. Spinach. Yes, spinach. That green leafy powerhouse we were all taught to love. Rich in iron, folate, great raw, excellent steamed, and often found in healthy casseroles, soups, and omelets. But here's the problem. When you cook spinach, especially in the microwave or by boiling, you break down some of its natural compounds. That's normal and often helpful. But when you reheat it, something called nitrate conversion kicks in. Spinach is high in nitrates. When it's reheated, those nitrates can break down into nitrites and nitrosamines compounds linked to oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress, in turn, can worsen inflammation. And for seniors, inflammation is one of the top culprits behind joint pain, muscle weakness, and that foggy, tired feeling that doesn't seem to go away. Even more concerning, these nitrites and nitrosamines may interfere with blood flow. When blood vessels tighten or become less elastic, the legs often feel the effects first, as tightness in the calves, restless legs at night, or even numbness when standing. And because it happens gradually, you might not suspect the spinach lasagna you reheated for lunch could be part of the problem. Some people notice they feel gassy or bloated after reheated spinach. Others find they feel extra tired, almost as if their body is sluggish for hours afterward. But the most overlooked symptom is this: reduced leg energy, that feeling like your thighs are heavier than usual, like walking upstairs is just a little harder, or that standing still makes your knees ache faster than it used to. And remember, we're not talking about eating spinach once. We're talking about reheated spinach, consumed regularly. Leftovers, meal preps, microwaved healthy dishes. Spinach still has benefits when eaten fresh or cooked just once. But when it becomes a part of your weekly routine, especially in meals that get reheated, it can quietly chip away at your leg strength and joint comfort. If you've been waking up with stiff knees, if your balance isn't what it used to be, or if you're wondering why your walks leave you more tired than before, this might be something to look at. Now, this doesn't mean you need to avoid spinach entirely, but it's worth considering how often you're reheating it, and whether that habit is working for your body or against it. Because when we're older, the little things add up. And when it comes to leg health, circulation, and inflammation, nothing is ever just about the big stuff. And here's the surprising thing: spinach isn't even the worst offender. There's another food, one that almost every American has in their fridge right now, that poses an even bigger problem when reheated. Not just for inflammation, but for your bones, your blood sugar, and your ability to get up from a chair without wincing. Let's talk about that one next. It's easy to feel betrayed by the foods we were told were healthy, and it's not your fault. Most of us spent decades hearing about the power of leafy greens, whole grains, and lean proteins. But what no one told us is that the way we prepare and reheat these foods, especially as we get older, can completely change how they affect our bodies. Let's talk about another common food that falls into this surprising category. You might even have it sitting in your fridge right now, thinking you've made a smart, healthy choice. It's chicken. Chicken has long been praised as the clean protein, lower in fat than red meat, easy to season, and packed with nutrients like B vitamins and selenium. Grilled chicken breast. That's been the gold standard of healthy eating for decades. And yes, fresh, well-cooked chicken can absolutely be good for you. But when it's reheated, especially in a microwave or over high heat, something changes. Chicken is rich in protein, but also in certain amino acids that don't always respond well to reheating. One of them is arginine. Under high reheating temperatures, proteins like this can start to break down and bind together in ways that are harder to digest. This process is known as protein denaturation. When you eat reheated chicken, especially after it's been sitting in the fridge for a day or two, your body has to work harder to break it down. And for older adults whose digestion is naturally slower, that can cause a cascade of problems. Instead of being absorbed smoothly, these altered proteins can sit in the gut, fermenting, causing bloating and discomfort. More importantly, they can trigger low-grade inflammation, especially in people over 60, who may already have a sensitive gut lining. But what does that have to do with your legs? Well, inflammation doesn't stay in the gut, it travels. And for many seniors, one of the first places it shows up is in the legs, as stiffness, heaviness, even swelling around the knees or ankles. You might notice it as a dragging feeling when you get up from a chair, or a sense that your legs are tight no matter how much you stretch. Even more subtly, you might feel tired, not in your head, but in your limbs, like you're walking through mud, even though you slept fine. That's your body's way of saying, something's not working. And again, it's easy to overlook this. After all, it's just chicken, right? But the problem isn't the chicken itself, it's the reheating. When you make a chicken stir-fry and enjoy it fresh, your body processes it one way. But when you microwave that same dish 2 days later, the proteins have changed. The oils have oxidized. And the older we get, the harder it becomes for our bodies to bounce back from those little stresses. Now, that brings us to the third item on our list. And it's one that catches nearly everyone off guard. This one doesn't have a strong smell. It doesn't look dangerous. In fact, it's often part of healthy breakfasts and quick lunches. It's potatoes. More specifically, reheated potatoes. Potatoes are a complex carbohydrate, which means they're typically digested slowly and help maintain blood sugar balance. When freshly cooked, they provide resistant starch, a form of starch that actually feeds good bacteria in the gut. But once potatoes cool, that starch begins to change. And when they're reheated, especially in the microwave, the structure of those starches becomes less beneficial and more stubborn. This is called starch retrogradation, and it can make the carbohydrates harder to digest, spiking blood sugar instead of supporting it. This sudden blood sugar rise, especially in older adults, can lead to energy crashes. Not the kind you feel in your brain, but the kind you feel in your muscles. It can make your legs feel weak, trembly, or even sore after doing almost nothing. Some seniors describe it as jelly legs. Others say their knees feel unstable, or that they feel more prone to tripping. And the link to reheated potatoes mashed, roasted, or in soups and stews often goes unnoticed. Another issue, blood pressure. When blood sugar and insulin spike rapidly, it can cause the body to hold onto sodium and fluid. This leads to swelling, especially in the lower legs and feet. If your socks are leaving deeper imprints, if your ankles seem puffier than normal, or if your shoes fit tighter by evening, this could be a clue. It's not just about what you eat. It's how your aging body handles food and how that changes when food is reheated. And the effects aren't dramatic. That's the tricky part. They build slowly. A little more stiffness here, a bit more fatigued there. An extra nap in the afternoon, a bit more hesitation before going upstairs. So we blame it on age, but sometimes it's lunch. Now let's be very clear. This is not your fault. No one teaches us this. We're told to eat leftovers, meal prep, and use the microwave. And for most of our lives, that worked just fine. But after 60, our bodies start speaking in subtler ways, and we have to listen a little more closely. So if you've been feeling off, more tired, less steady, more achy or swollen in the legs, and you're eating reheated spinach, chicken, or potatoes a few times a week, you might have just discovered a missing piece of the puzzle. And here's the good news. Now that you know what to avoid, let's talk about what can help. There are foods that actively support leg strength, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation, even in older adults. And you don't have to stop enjoying your meals. In fact, you can feel better, stronger, and more confident in your body just by making a few gentle changes. Let's go there next. You've made it this far, which means you care deeply about your body, your freedom, and your ability to live life on your terms. That already puts you ahead of the curve. By now, you've seen how simple reheating habits, ones we've trusted for decades, can quietly chip away at our strength, especially in the legs. But here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. You are not broken. You're not weak. Your body is simply asking for something new. It's not giving up on you, it's asking you to pay attention. And when you listen, even just a little, the changes can be powerful. You don't need a complete overhaul. You don't need to stop eating the foods you love. You just need to make a few smarter swaps, ones that work with your body, not against it. So let's talk about a few things you can do, starting today, that support your legs, your circulation, and your energy for the long haul. Let's start with one of the easiest and most delicious: sweet potatoes. Unlike white potatoes, sweet potatoes have a different type of starch and a richer nutrient profile, including antioxidants like beta-carotene. They're less likely to cause the same spike in blood sugar when reheated, and they contain anti-inflammatory compounds that actually help calm overactive immune responses. They also support healthy blood vessels thanks to their high potassium content, which can help reduce swelling in the legs and ankles. Roast them, mash them, enjoy them cold or warm, just skip the microwave, and instead reheat gently in the oven or on the stovetop when you can. Next, let's talk about a surprising helper for sore joints and tired legs: turmeric tea. Turmeric contains curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory that's been shown to ease stiffness and joint discomfort in older adults. When paired with black pepper, it becomes more absorbable by the body and can begin working within days. A warm turmeric tea in the evening not only soothes the digestive tract, it also supports circulation and can even help you sleep more deeply, which gives your muscles and joints time to recover. And better sleep means better balance, more energy, and stronger legs. Another simple addition: chia seeds. These tiny seeds are incredibly rich in omega-3 south, which help reduce inflammation from the inside out. Just 1 tablespoon stirred into water, yogurt, or oatmeal gives your body the kind of fat it needs to keep blood vessels flexible and joints cushioned. They also support hydration, something many seniors struggle with without realizing it. Hydrated muscles are stronger, less prone to cramps, and better at handling strain. Finally, let's talk about a daily habit that makes a bigger difference than almost anything else: standing and stretching first thing in the morning. Before coffee, before breakfast, just a few slow stretches, even seated ones that wake up the hips, calves, and thighs. This gentle movement gets blood flowing, loosens stiff tissue, and reminds your legs, hey, we're still in this together. It tells your body that you're present, aware, and ready to take charge of the day. And the best part, these habits don't require big changes. They don't take a lot of time, but they build on each other. Every sweet potato instead of a microwaved leftover. Every sip of turmeric tea instead of a sugary drink. Every minute you stretch instead of sitting stiff. All of it sends the same message to your body. I hear you. I'm here for you. Let's keep moving forward together. You've lived through so much. You've seen decades of advice come and go. But this moment right now, it's a chance to take back control in the simplest, kindest way possible. So here's what I want you to do next. Tell me in the comments which of these foods or facts surprised you the most. Was it the spinach? The chicken? The potatoes? Or maybe you had an aha moment with sweet potatoes or turmeric tea. Whatever it was, someone else out there needs to hear it too. And if you found this helpful, if you want to keep learning gentle, science-backed ways to feel stronger, sharper, and more energized, hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore together, because aging doesn't mean fading. It means adapting with grace, with power, and with wisdom. Your legs carry your independence. They help you climb stairs, chase grandkids, walk to the mailbox, or dance in the kitchen. They are your foundation. Your independence is carried by your legs. Protect them wisely.